down here. I just stream a print, and since it's Friday, maybe we'll have some people join. Maybe we won't. Who knows?
Yeah. How's the wipers? How are the wipers working?
They were working pretty good until I dropped the bar because I was trying to figure out my tool locking issues. Um,
Okay.
but that said, I don't know.
That looks different than the wipers that I had initially that I've got.
I'm actually printed off some new wipers anyway that should allow me to move everything over and fit 4 tools on the frame.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to take your dovetail design and adapt it to my mount, I think.
Well, I printed out a set of the fully enclosed wings. I was going to try them out.
Yeah, the only downside to them is I'm worried that they're too, like, they're really snug, but not snug enough to, it's almost too perfect. You know what I mean? Like, there's very little resistance to pulling the tool off, which is a good thing, but it's not a good thing.
Okay.
Um, so I think you'd said this in the chat about maybe making it so that you could use the what do you call that stuff? Delrin little locking mechanisms to kind of like cut
Yeah,
a
I was
hole in it.
thinking of if we open this up just a smidge, right,
Mhm.
and cut a notch in it and stick the Delrin inside. But Josh was also talking about putting an O-ring in it.
Yes, he was, and I don't have any O-rings right now.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
don't either.
wondering how you would get the O-ring in the tube.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a solvable problem. I'm just not sure off the top of my head.
Yeah. Sorry, I keep yawning.
Whoops. Oh well. See, right now, before I home everything, I like to set a standby temperature and let the nozzle heat up to something a bit higher.
Yeah.
So, um, what I need to do is I need to print the new corner plates. I need to print the little piece that goes inside that didn't exist before inside the tool locking mechanism. I think it's to prevent actually one of the problems I had where the twist lock actually shifted forward when I had a collision. I think it helps prevent that.
Okay.
Um, and then since I've already taken it apart a couple times, I'm afraid that it's going to get worn out. I was just going to reprint the middle piece on the bottom. And then what I need to do is design the front and back plates of the tool changer mechanism and reprint those so that I can put a CPAP attachment inside there.
Which one?
Um, so I don't know if you can see the video, but
I just flipped away from it because I'm looking for a replacement. So,
yeah, no problem. So
okay.
on the front plate here where you got the locking pins
Yeah.
and the tool lock and the back one. So I need to reprint the back one no matter what. Like I have to do that in order to get the aluminum plates in. Um,
Okay. Yeah, because you have to get the spacing on your
yeah, have
the belt spacing fixed.
right. And so I figure instead of just doing that, maybe I would also try to do some sort of design revision where I could put in the CPAP stuff. And
Oh, okay.
I would kind of like to be able to do it in such a way that it would be removable. So if I want to iterate on the design, I don't have to tear apart the entire carriage to do so.
Right. So one of the things I've seen is, what if, for example, you have, the only problem is because of where the X or where the Z sensor is, right?
The Z
So you can't
sensor
come
does.
under the carriage.
Oh, well, I'm not really worried about that. If anything's in the way, it would probably be the pins for the locking mechanism. You know, so. But I think that's all stuff that's probably overcomable. Um, I don't know. I just gotta take some time and try to figure it out, basically.
Sure.
But I think the first thing, because in order to use that red filament, I either would A, have to get the Jubilee dialed in to use it, or B, fix the big box so the big box can print it because it's all set up over there already for it. And I think I'm going to opt for option B. So I'm going to start getting some of the prints that I can print done. And then I'm going to try to fix, or I should say patch the big box so that it can do its thing. Eventually, I want to tear apart the big box and completely uh, just fix it up, basically.
Yeah. Get it
Um,
fixed so it's working properly.
yeah, it's several years old. It needs a tune-up. I have upgrades that have been sitting around waiting to be applied for a while now. I was always afraid to apply them because I didn't have another, well, I did have another printer, but nothing that could compare to the big box. And now with the Jubilee, I can play with the big box all day long without having to worry about it. Because it's going to be IDEX when I'm done with it.
Okay.
I have two Titan Arrows waiting to be installed. Okay. So the first thing is I need to figure out what the heck I need to print. Actually, why am I going to this web page? So this is something I had, like, I was trying to think.
Sorry, I need to move this off the screen, over to the other screen so I can see what's going on.
I was trying to sync to the master again, and I don't remember how I did it the first time because
I'll be right back. I got to grab something off the printer.
hmm
right. 2 more face shields and a modified tool.
See, the problem is I can't remember how the heck I was able to pull the current Jubilee repository in to my branch,
Hmm.
and it's driving me crazy. Whenever I click on it, it always says like a branch with that name already exists. Yeah, I'm just not seeing where the heck to do the merge at.
What you were working on?
What's that?
Did you figure out what you were looking at?
What I'm having a problem trying to get my branch of the Jubilee repository to sync with the main branch so that I can be on par, and it's irritating.
And then you can do a pull request. Don't you normally do that on your local machine?
Well, I can't figure out how to do it on the local machine. I don't remember. I don't know.
A Git update or something like that? I'm not a Git guy.
I don't know. I did it before, but now whenever I try to click on the upstream master, I get the stupid a branch with that name already exists. So I think I need to rename my branch or something, but I don't know how to do that.
That or they've gotten out of sync somehow.
Well, let's like if I
Or not
look at
somehow.
them on the here, it says that they're. Or if I go onto GitHub and I look at my branch, um, or how do you do this again? Somewhere it says that you can merge them, no problem. I don't know what screen I was on a minute ago, but so they're not out of sync. It's just for some reason my app doesn't want to let me change it.
Yeah, I think Steve would probably know how to fix that in a heartbeat.
I've got to fix something for Josh because somehow I messed up on the files in the repository, and I've told him I would do it, and it's like 3 days later, and I haven't done it. Of course, it took him like 3 or 4 weeks to actually look at my pull request, so I don't feel too bad.
Yeah, don't feel too bad about it.
Software. Yeah, I have no idea how, but somehow I copied my T-post into T-offsets, which doesn't make any sense to me because I don't have that problem on the machine, but I must have fixed it on my machine and never realized that I broke it and uploaded that to the wiki or to the GitHub. So,
Oh, that's not good.
but luckily Josh is a pretty thorough fellow and he caught it. So, but yeah, it's really bizarre. I don't know how that happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually trying to fix this the other day, and I don't know, I was having an issue. So
Hi, that might actually work. Although it's a bit thicker than it probably needs to be at this point. But huh. No. Trying not to drop things. Hey, Levi. You look up there, okay?
Okay, enough with those shenanigans. I think I did what I set out to do. Maybe. Oh,
Okay.
but I need to do some other stuff. Open. Okay. Metal hubs. What
Well,
the
hey,
heck
buddy.
is this?
What's up? You gonna get this going by? All right.
What is this? So apparently I must be up to date on, but I don't know how because I don't remember loading.
Remember loading an update?
Yeah, I'm very puzzled about that. Huh.
Meow.
I am so easy to distract. I go into upgrades and I see metal hubs and I'm like, what the hell is that? And so instead of doing what I was trying to do, I follow Yellow Brick Road.
And now you've learned about Metal Hub.
Yeah, it looks like they're
Just
still.
what are you doing?
Okay. I haven't released the files or even really the information yet, but next time I have a video, I actually have theme music now for my channel.
Ooh,
Yes, I am looking forward to debuting it.
nice.
Alright, let's get the printer doing something. It says 3 concurrent viewers. It must have been terribly boring watching almost nothing happen while I fiddle around with the stupid
Yeah.
pull requests.
Not long enough, apparently. Apparently, I've got screws that are not anywhere near long enough because I thickened it up, so all my screws are too short now.
What did you change?
I thickened up the adapter plate that I made for the toolboards
Oh,
because what I did is I added a place for to strap in or to get the strap to actually reach, and that screw is still too sharp. That one's longer. Let's try that one.
I tell you what, getting theme music was a lot more challenging than getting my graphic.
Yeah. Is it a new composition?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations on getting the real music.
Well, I paid someone for it.
Yeah, but you own it, right?
Yeah.
Or
No,
did you just get a license to use it?
no, I commissioned for me, for my channel.
Okay.
It's mine.
Who holds the copyright?
I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's.
What's that?
Like I said, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's mine.
Just asking.
I don't really know for 100% sure how it works. It says. Says commercial use.
Permission for use?
Yeah.
Then the composer holds the copyright.
Hold on. It doesn't specifically say. Guess I never really thought about it.
Okay, this is not going to work because I got to drill those out.
Says on a Fiverr platform, buyers are granted all rights for the delivered work. unless otherwise specified.
Okay.
This means that if you purchase a gig for personal use, you will own all rights to the delivered work without purchasing the extra. What the hell is that?
All right.
If you intend to use the business for business purposes, you will need to buy the extra. Fiverr retains the right to use all published delivered works for Fiverr marketing and promotions.
So they can use it if they're doing it as a market, if they're marketing the Fiverr services.
Yeah, see,
Essentially.
outside of the Fiverr platform, copyright ownership is owned by one of the following: author, creator, author creator's heir, creators of a joint work automatically share copyright, anyone to whom the author creator has given or assigned his copyright. This means the author creator has given up his or her copyright to the work. An example is works made for hire. Someone pays a creator for original work, including copyrights.
Yeah. If it's the work for hire, you own it.
Yeah, so that's basically what that is, or what I did.
Yep. Now you don't have to register that copyright. Suppose you could, but you don't have to.
So I've decided on a new project that will
Uh-oh.
be in some undetermined future.
Yeah. What would that be?
So remember how when I first modified the Logitech camera so that I could um, zoom in, and then I'm like, hey, let me put it on my shrimps, and we could see a nice close up of the shrimp.
Yeah.
So what I thought would be really cool would be to create a setup. What would be really, really cool is if I could somehow gain manual control over the focus, like either by putting some sort of stepper on it or by creating some sort of linkage where I could turn the focus knob remotely.
Put a little gear wheel on it and a servo.
Yeah, something like that. And then what I would like to do is make it waterproof, and then mount it to like maybe some extrusion with it could just be something cheap, and it'd be kind of cool to do it with stepper motors or something. Not necessary, potentially, but anyway, be able to put the system on a fish tank and then be able to cruise the camera around in the tank and get nice close-ups of stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I was really impressed with how clear the close-ups were, and I thought it could make some cool videos. Or if I ever get around to doing my terrarium stuff, it could make some really cool videos too, zooming around the terrarium. It would be nice if I could get a higher definition camera to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if the higher def cameras have manual focus knobs in them or not, but I'm hesitant to want to go out and buy some fancy camera to tear it apart and I'm like, does this work? Oh, nope. I guess I gotta buy another one, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so while that's printing, what do I need to do to make my other printer work? So basically what I was having is that for whatever reason the temperature sensor cable is really flaky.
Okay.
So I need to do something to fix that. I might be able to get away with doing something a little underhanded. And because originally I had purchased, or not purchased, but built this thing to have two tools. So I could do dual printing, but it was more trouble than it was worth. And after a few, I don't know, semi-successful attempts at some dual prints, like just the whole nozzle scraping and everything, I don't know,
Yeah.
just wasn't really working out the way I would have preferred. So I opted to remove the nozzle and never really did much with it. So what I'm thinking I might try here is just to attach the temperature sensor from the old nozzle that's pretty much completely 100% gone at this point. I've removed everything. But the wires are still out here. So I'm going to see if maybe those wires will work. I seem to be the only person that is very interested at all in putting a knife on the Jubilee for like vinyl cutting.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have thought that somebody would have at least shared some interest in it, but I guess most people who are interested in that thing already have a vinyl cutter, so why would they want to make the Jubilee do it?
No reason. I mean, I don't know. There's no reason not to let it do it. Give it a knife and a stippling tool. You know, if you did a stippling tool, you just stab, 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 right?
Can you define stippling?
You know, for doing embossing and things like that.
Oh, okay. Is that what the stippling?
And I just got paged.
Oh, so like adding texture to something.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. I didn't even consider that.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
You put down a little bit of a squishy, you know, the surface that you're working on has got a little bit of give to it, and then you can stipple or emboss the material that you know, you basically stab, 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 or you put some pressure on it and it's got a ball tip and you're dragging it through it,
Yeah, I'm
and
not.
it's creating a debossing.
It's an interesting concept, but I don't know if the Jubilee would be capable of putting that much force on it.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I mean, I would be hesitant to want to put that much force on the aluminum crossbar, I guess.
I don't know. That might be a question to ask. See, how much downward force can you use the crossbar to put on there, right? How many? Because you're not necessarily putting a lot.
But on the other hand, if you made like a brand where it was heated up, and you might be able to kind of do a similar effect.
Do like a wood burning and things like that, yeah.
Huh. Jubilee wood burner. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my laser for that for the most part, but
yeah.
could be interesting. I don't know. Either way, I plan on attempting to do some cutting at the Jubilee at some point. I ordered a mat, and I ordered one of the tool knockoffs that for the what do you call that machine? The Cricut, Cut, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So we'll see. One thing that you quickly learn to underappreciate on the Jubilee or take for granted, I should say, is how nice it is to remove the tool and work on it. Like with the big box, I'm like on my tippy toes here trying to get angles at the stuff to see it.
Need to switch computers here real quick. Because I just got paged for work. Okay, I just changed systems.
Can you turn that one's volume down just a little bit more?
Maybe.
I'm just trying to see if I can get you leveled off across all your multiple platforms.
I don't actually have an opportunity to change the input volume.
Okay, I'll just modify it then.
Sorry.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just have you turn up your other one later.
Okay.
Okay, I'm reading a temperature. That's good. I just need to change the firmware to associate the correct heater to it.
Okay. Sorry. Ugh. I don't know why I'm so tired. Maybe because I didn't get a nap this afternoon. Which
I
is
would
fine.
be.
I need to try to get my sleep schedule squared away.
Okay, how does this work? Awesome. That was easy. I'll just tidy up the wires. And I have so many different things I want to do with the Jubilee. I feel like it's going to be a never-ending project.
Well, I mean, you still got your third and fourth tools to put on.
Yeah, that's just for starters. Third and fourth tools, I want to get the central cooling fan thing going. I've got the filament management I want to work on.
Uh-huh.
Well, for starters, I just want to get everything in dry boxes, and I have everything planned out in my mind on how to do just that with a really economical dry box, and it can hold about 5 spools. And I wanted to make it so that if you pick up the box and move it around, the spools aren't going to fall apart in the box. You're not going to get tangles, so it's going to manage everything tangle free.
Okay.
So, or like if you push the filament back in or something like that, because you want to use a different filament.
Yeah.
So I got that project. Just kind of printer room upgrade in general. I'm planning on doing building a table for the big box and the Jubilee to sit on, so the Jubilee doesn't have to take space on my workbench anymore. And it'll have a permanent home that's much more solid and robust than what it's on right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'd like to start doing some like tools that are not 3D printing tools. You know, I think it would be fun to add some options in the drawer for the Jubilee, because as Josh likes to point out once in a while, the Jubilee is not a printer. It's just good
It's
at
a motion.
printing. It's a motion platform. So I would like
You're just
to
putting extruders on it.
exactly. So I would like to have some open source non 3D printing related tools for it to show off some of its other capabilities. Lasers are boring. Everybody puts a laser on a 3D printer. I'd like to do, like, I think, so the first thing I'd like to try, obviously, would be the drag knife, because I don't think very many people generally do that. At least, I'm sure people do. I just haven't really seen it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a drag knife would be very interesting.
And I don't think it will be difficult. So
No.
I think,
I still think getting a spindle on there would be really useful.
yeah, but I don't have to work on that. Other people already are. I want to work on something that everybody's not working on.
Okay.
So I would like to adapt the various Cricut. Basically, I want to be able to hold all the Cricut tools, or at least. So eventually, I think it'd be really cool to do get the embossing tool working, where maybe you can use like you would for an extruder, the extruder stepper motor, except it'll be controlling the angle of the blade or embosser.
And
or
well, the embosser just goes up and down, but yeah,
not embosser. What the heck was it called again?
the drag knife.
Uh, I'm just gonna send a link to you. I don't remember
Okay.
what it's called. Cut. Alex. Stop. There we go. Scoring. That was the word I was looking for. Scoring tool. They also have a knife that utilizes the same.
Did you just share it in the live stream chat?
I am about to.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if I'd missed it. Sorry, I'm actually working on. I just, like I said, I got paid for work, and I'm actually looking at it. So,
Gotcha.
oh, the
All right.
scoring tool. Okay.
Yeah. So they have a knife that can also utilize that particular feature. So um, first, I figured I would just start off with a basic knife, and then move on to something more interesting like the scoring wheel and knife mechanism.
Okay.
Of course, knowing me, I might get ADD and do something completely different by the time I get around to that.
Yeah, maybe.
Wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't even be the first time that I bought stuff for a project and never did it. Okay, so that was a lot easier than I was thinking it would be.
Okay.
So now what do I do with the big box? I should probably do some test prints to make sure that it doesn't flake out in the middle of a print. Wow, I've accomplished, I feel like I've actually accomplished something today and it's not barely past 11. Something's wrong. Usually I don't get a sense of accomplishment till about 1:30 in the morning. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, hate myself for not letting myself get more sleep.
Yeah. I haven't been able to get much accomplished at this point right now.
Let's find something random on Thingiverse to print. How about Yoda? There's
Yo,
no
yo.
yo 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 yo. Well, I am using green filament, so I might as well print a Yoda. I mean, it just seems necessary at this point.
I suppose. I suppose that is.
I've never actually printed a Yoda before, so.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey Josh, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. I think I fixed the file and got it on GitHub.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I saw the link. I will take a look. Um, Probably tomorrow morning, actually. That's when I actually should have a good chunk of time for it.
No worries.
Time? What is that?
Yeah, I know. Um, yeah, because I just finished a bunch of stuff and now I'm kind of waiting for stuff to come back in the mail. So I am good.
All right.
But yeah, how's everyone else doing?
I am working right now, actually.
Oh no. I'm
I got,
sorry.
I'm on call this weekend. I just got paid about 15 minutes ago. I am trying to get a hold of the principal engineer to see what's up.
Well, well, more
But
power to you.
I'm just kind of listening in at this point. There's nothing I can actually do until we get an evaluation on the array. But yeah, somebody in customer service, some executive decided that having a let's look at this dial home severity level that's not an actual outage, it's just the array is calling home to say, hey, I got a problem, I need somebody to look at this, without it actually being I'm broken, right? So they took away all of our dial home, let's look at this kind of cases and turned them into severity ones, which are like call out the fire trucks and all hands on deck sort of outage.
No. Dang.
And so every time one of the arrays dials home that says, hey, I had a timeout on the front end or something, and I need somebody to double check it and make sure that it recovered properly, which is, literally somebody from the support team dials in to check to make sure it's right. And if it isn't, then they can fix it right away. But at this point, it's like I get paged out 8 or 10 times a week for things that are resolved before anybody can look at them.
That's too bad.
Yeah, and it was literally it's an executive decision from a marketing customer service standpoint. It has nothing to do with the actual audio of an impact.
Interesting.
Um,
Hey, so I want to mention something.
Oh yeah?
Remember your old coupler design?
My old coupler design.
Well, the current one, I would say.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought about it, and I came up with something that was similar in principle, but a little bit different in implementation.
Okay.
Check this out. So the thing that is a little bit difficult to see in this picture is that in the inside there's an 8mm ball bearing.
Oh, okay.
And that, as long as you install this tight, it seems to be working. The only funny part is that I put this on my machine and did like the most sensitive tests that I could possibly do, which is the translucent with spiral base mode with a translucent color to see if there was a Z pattern, and it's no better. It's the same as the default setup that everyone does in the instructions.
Okay.
So if that's any comfort or discomfort, or so that said, this was easier to install. Putting this together was easier, and I did notice that there was a teeny bit less friction.
Is that a thrust bearing on there?
Yes.
Okay. That's 5mm inside diameter.
Yeah, thrust bearings are weird because I think they're undersized on one of the two rings.
Yeah, and that's intentional.
Yeah, so I really had to make sure it was seated incorrectly and then push down all the way to make sure I wasn't actually getting stuck on the smushy spring of the axial shaft, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so feeling wise, it does feel smoother, and you can definitely see the lead screw, the fact that it's wobbly, much more easily on these couplers than on the other ones. but quality-wise, things pretty much look the same.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's any comfort. I mean, I just literally just did this and did 2 tests, so it could be that I find out more about this later. But I had the parts. I had some of the parts, and I wanted to try it. I was like, if this is like a big win for a little bit of work, I'll do it.
Okay.
But it seems like there's not much.
And is that that's the same Z-thrust coupler or Z-thrust part that you had created before? It's the 11
Yes.
millimeter.
Yeah, technically, I'd want to make it skinnier because the lead screws stick out.
Okay.
Oh, and actually something else that I forgot to mention, which is I actually did sit down and do the math, not the math, but look at the design of the plumb coupling.
Yeah.
The 5 millimeter part that sticks up actually sticks into a hole that's around 8 millimeters in the center, so it actually isn't butting out against anything, and that it actually is free to
Yeah, the
pivot.
coupler, in the plumb coupler, there is no hole through the polymer. The polymer is a solid soft.
Oh, right. But what I was saying is that it goes into like an 8 millimeter pocket. So there is free space. It's not actually the 5 millimeter jack doesn't continue into it doesn't bottom out on the or physically touch the polymer part.
Okay. Yeah, there should be about a centimeter difference, somewhere between 7 and 10 millimeters difference between the ends of the 2 shafts, and there should be about a millimeter gap between the bottom, each of the shaft and the polymer in the middle.
Yeah, so the gap I can't, the gap of the polymer I can't really fix.
Well, that's an assembly thing, right?
Yeah, well, but if somebody pushes hard on it, it'll collapse itself.
Right, and that's the nature of the plumb coupler. That's why you put a thrust above power.
Yeah.
So the plumb coupler actually, this spiral coupler is actually better.
Agreed.
Because you're able to transfer, but
the Z.
The Z, right?
I totally agree.
Now
yeah.
I need to go back and put mine back on because I took them off, and it turned out that I took them off prematurely. I didn't need to because I had my front left and front right Z's reversed, and what I thought was happening was I was having some kind of interference. So I'm going to put them back on and run it again. Now that I know that it's working, I was able to. If you scroll back up a little bit, I posted my wall picture. So that is a 35 millimeter square, 2 walls.
Oh, that looks good.
Running at 100 millimeters a second.
100. That looks good.
It's a little oversized. I'm over extruding just a bit. So
yeah.
It's 0.85 millimeters thick. Should be 0.80. So I need to back off on my flow just a smidge. So,
okay. How does that compare to other printers you have?
I mean, so far it's looking pretty good. I don't have. It looks pretty consistent. I still need there's some dialing in that I need to do on this particular extruder. I still have So the problem with the Duet 3s, okay, and RepRap, problem with Duet 3 and RepRap 3 is you can't PID tune an extruder that's not on the main board. Or you can't PID tune a heater that is not attached to the main board.
Yeah, you have to basically create a temporary setup and then throw it on the main board, PID tune it, then transfer the values to the...
That's rough.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Okay.
And
well,
same problem
I'm sure
with the
it'll
3H.
get fixed.
Well, they say it's supposed to be fixed in 302. but it's taking them, what, like 8 months to do 301?
301.
They're
That's
in
fair.
RC 11. It's like, come on, guys. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, I mean, we'll blame coronavirus for all sorts of slowdowns. I'm happy
You
to do that for a few more months.
can blame the coronavirus on a developer, a remote developer.
Okay, okay.
Actually, if it is his full-time gig, I don't know if it is or not. I don't know if, I know it's open source, but RepRap may not be, it may be open source, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's not a paid gift to do with that. Right?
Sure. It's like a non-profit.
Yeah.
Not exactly, but there are some parallels.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's, yeah. It may be one of those where Duet is paying licensing fees, or not licensing fees, but, I mean, you can still do stuff like that to ensure that you're paying for the development. But anyway, so that came out pretty well. I'm not printing anything on it right now because what I'm trying to work on is I have successfully printed, although I have to do the soldering to get the light. I have to go and pick up the wiring for my CAMD camera mount. So that's nearly ready to go. I've got to refresh a page here real quick. We're 18 minutes into it. We're just 30 minutes in. Thing is, I know what's going on here. Is we already have a known issue with this particular array, and we're scheduling the patch to fix it so it doesn't keep reoccurring. And it's really a non-issue. It's really self-valid. But anyway, that's probably way too much information. So I printed Eric's how to park the alignment gadget for putting the camera on the bed. So I'll have something that I can start working my CAMD for getting my G10s. Trying to work on my second tool. I've had to do I've modified my toolboard adapter plate to receive, and it's fair on the first try, to receive the tie wrap, the 36-inch nylon tie wrap.
Yeah.
And I'm working on, it took me forever to find it. Actually, I still haven't found it. So I'm just starting from scratch. To build out the mount that goes on the wiper rail for the cables. Back at the parking area. So I need something that I can grab the cable wrap or the tie wrap there. And I got my Ethernet RJ45 adapters or RJ45 breakout boards today. So I was gonna make up a breakout board for each end.
Yep.
And then I can try the Ethernet cable.
Yeah.
I completely missed that. So I'm just waiting for that to finish up. I was working on that part, and then I can go work on these other things and get them working. But how have you been?
Good, I suppose.
Getting ready
Busy.
to call or your mom had just called.
Oh yeah, she was calling me. She told me she was going to call later the next day, and then I forgot to call her back, and it was getting late, and so she called me first. Yeah, everyone's. I'm not in trouble. Everyone's good. What's that?
I said that's good.
Yeah.
Where did your parents live?
Yeah, so I think between Hatham B and me, or H2B and me, we pretty much got 90% of the wiki ported at this point.
Oh wow,
good.
Nice.
And I think I'm really excited because I finally figured out, I learned a few things about links in GitHub, and I found out how to get the PDFs to render as PDFs and not as pings inside of GitHub, which is a super that it was doing. I don't know if you ever clicked on the instructions and were like, why am I getting a PDF?
Yeah.
So if you want, feel free to give this page a spin.
Okay.
That should work. One thing that I could totally use, and I feel like anyone who's building a Jubilee is more than qualified to do it, is I think what would be cool is to take the pages, and if you have anything related to I feel like what we need is like a splash image or like flavor text on trading card. We need like a picture at the top as like a thumbnail that just like gets you jazzed about like what you're about to read, because everything else is just words.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah, we need to make like trading cards for all the Jubilees that are out there.
So just something to get people excited at least about reading all these instructions.
Yeah, it's like look out for this part, because if you put it on backwards, it doesn't work.
Yeah, so like everything after the page should be informative, but I feel like in the top, like the very first picture or the very beginning, like that could be whatever. So if you have anything, that would be sweet. And I'll put this in chat too.
What about just like a picture of like the core XY part of the machine?
Yeah, so like in what was I going to say? So in the assembly instructions page, the one that I posted, that one has a picture of like Daniel's setup as he was building it.
Okay.
So something like that, just like the top right corner, a thumbnail. I think that would be cool. Not required, but just an idea. Yeah.
I've been posting
like
as well. And I also got a set of those corner plates. So I kind of like them. I'm going to put them on the side that I'm not putting the panel on.
Yeah, this would be a great picture. Just gotta find a place to put it. Yeah, so make a login. Tell me if there are problems. I think between HTTP and me, we found some stuff and we fixed. Feel free to look at other pages for inspiration.
Okay.
But about 90% of it, I would say, is ported. There's some historical stuff that's still the slicer stuff. Actually, the slicer instructions aren't ported yet.
Okay. Are there any slicer gotchas?
What do you mean? Oh, for like multicolor printing?
Yeah, just gotchas, because I'm new to the Prusa slicer. I'm not very familiar with it.
I've actually not used Prusa Slicer for this. I've been using Simplify 3D. So I think it's fixed now in 2.02. I don't know what I had some weird issue, which is why I switched over to Simplify 3D, because I had already mostly figured it out at that point.
Is that what you're using? Is that what you use for your, that's a Dremel drill press?
Yeah, I just mounted a little XY motion platform on it.
Nice, nice,
cool.
Nice.
I converted mine. I designed and printed one that holds my soldering iron. So you take off the Dremel mount, and then you swap out where the Dremel mount is on that, and you clamp in your soldering iron. And you use it as for heat press. For doing inserts.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah,
I don't know, I still like pushing something flat and metal onto it afterwards.
Oh, you still do. It's just what you do is it lets you.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, you pull it out. Okay.
So you just put the part in there and you just kind of rock down the arm and it drives the soldering iron in. But it holds it perpendicular to the work. Now, hold it, and then you just pop it out, slap it down on that flat surface.
Gotcha.
And you're not having to fumble the soldering iron, but it's just kind of hanging out there in space. Eric, is that a heat insert on the plate there? No, that's just a screw.
What are you looking at?
The camera base.
Oh, I don't think I did anything special like a heater insert. It's just
That's just an M4, isn't it?
yes, M4 I believe is correct.
Yeah.
I just picked something that I had in my box that everybody should probably have if they have hardware for the Jubilee.
Yeah.
I think it was an M4 by 8, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right.
And it will go in and give you about a 0.5 millimeter of clearance at the bottom, so you don't you're not riding on the bottoms of the screws.
Well, I don't have to worry about scratching up my bed.
Right.
Because my bed is all gouged anyway, so there you go. I don't know how I missed that.
Well, like I said, don't feel too bad. I've got a nice gouge in my bed too. I don't remember how I did mine anymore.
Okay. Array's clean. It's just spindle replaced under SR and is syncing. Checked out. Fixes are in place. All right. At least I can come back away from my work computer.
All right.
And my KVM switch effectively died, or was giving me all kinds of flakiness. So I rewired all of my system and got a new keyboard and mouse, or keyboard and trackpad actually. So with the Logitech, you can just push the button using the Logitech universal receivers. And then it just kind of works that way. All right, so I was working on, I need to figure out how to mount this little adapter that converts from a RJ45 to the toolboard. And we'll see exactly how well that works. But I mean, I honestly think that'll be a lot easier to move. If you only have one cable to plug in to a tool in order to remove a tool from the Jubilee, I think that's a lot easier than messing around with all these little tiny adapters that you're trying to plug in and out and things like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially there's got to be like a good development setup if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Especially if you're using toolboards, because a toolboard, but it only has one driver, right? Excuse me. So I was trying to find something here. Oh, hey, Mystic. What's up, buddy? Yes, he's asleep. Okay. He walked up, the old cat walked up and glared at the sleeping younger cat. It's like, he's there. Like, dude, seriously, relax. No, you're right. There needs to be a better setup. I think the question we're running into, I know you brought up and you were concerned about using an Ethernet cable or an RJ45 in this case. So, and I'm just trying to think of what would be a better connector that you can get. You can easily receive cable. You can easily get like 1 meter cables that are made up already, right? And some people are using the DB9 and whatnot.
Yeah, DB9 is serial, isn't it? Yeah.
But DB9 is typically a serial, yeah. You know, DB9 is DB9 is what you're typically using on a CAN bus too.
No, sorry, I'm laughing because a coworker a long time tried to put a DB9 on the outside of a panel, like an electronics panel for something that was definitely not in any way related to serial, and I was like, I was like, this is a factory. Like, we can't our connectors can't communicate that they are going. We can't like head fake us, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, you also you go with like the aircraft or the mil-spec cable, mil-spec socket, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's another idea. If you have like the. Go ahead.
Yeah. So if you go with if you're using the 8023B2 type port, right? It works with Cat5 cabling. It's 4-pair mode, and its power available at the PD or the power device, right, is 100 watts. Is 71 watts. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. That's
the
chunk.
maximum power delivered by the power supply is 100 watts, and that's based on losses over 100
Quick side question.
Yeah.
Remember how you're mentioning possibly O-rings for the?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you have any notion of what O-ring, where you'd get it? By any chance?
I think I pasted a link at some point, but let me dig up the link
Did
again.
you?
I found some, on Amazon.
I must have missed that. I'm sorry.
A few months ago. Oh, no worries. A few months ago, because I wanted to try it back when we were having issue number 43 pretty badly. I think me and Daniel had it. Here it is, February 17th.
Sounds like a disease. Issue number 43. Yeah, we had it. Is it contagious?
I hope not. By golly. Well, at least I'm far away. Here we go. I will paste it. It was the consistent tool pickup, so I was like panicking, trying to figure out what the problem was.
Oh,
not really knowing what the problem was.
I'm there right now, so.
Damn it. Okay, so if you're there right now, what I would suggest.
It is contagious.
Yeah. No. Okay, so first off, there's a couple things. One of them is that long term, this problem will get fixed with Delrin plates. I have been playing with the prototypes that, oh man, I forgot who ended up making them, but they're awesome.
I still think it's funny that I mentioned that, and all of a sudden, like a couple weeks later, somebody has them.
Yeah, I've got one of the Delrin plates.
And they didn't even send one to me.
That's cool.
They didn't even acknowledge me when I PM'd them. But anyway, that's the point.
Oh, bummer. Well, I think they like replied to everyone that they had run out. But I can send you one if you're curious. First off, one way to diagnose this issue is to have a camera. Camera really, really helps because any upward-facing camera, turn off your extruder so you're not looping.
Well, I
just do go ahead.
I just printed print towers, one with one nozzle, one with the other nozzle, and I could see the shifting. So.
Okay, that'll work too. The only reason I suggested the camera first is because in some cases the problem looks like inconsistent extrusion. So it's like, so it's like who's to blame? Is it the inconsistent extrusion or is it the repeatability of the carriage or the coupling? But I'm pretty sure the Hemera is a good extruder.
I can.
That's a good way to.
I've made plenty of prints with single extruders and they're beautiful. So. The only time I have.
Number 43.
Yeah. I've got it.
You've got it. Okay. Long-term Delrin plates will fix this because they are. First off, what I would do, if you can print wedge plates at 0.05 instead of 0.1, try that. And if you're printing with any specialty filament, try printing it with something that does not have any sort of glitter.
Nylon
or any
would
sort of
probably be good.
Nylon might work actually really well, but I would say the minimum is 0.1 with the instructions say. Try dropping it to 0.05.
Actually, PETG is kind of slippery. That should probably work, right?
Try that too. Yeah, that might work. I'm not really great at printing PETG with a whole lot of detail. But if you could do it in 0.1, then that might actually totally do it. So what's
I don't-
happening? Go ahead.
Oh, I was like, I don't know that I've ever tried printing at some PETG at that low detail, but I can see what happens.
Yeah. So what's happening is that when it picks up the tool, it is twisting it, and that's
Right.
because
Because
there's
it's not sliding
a
up the ramp.
correct, and because the ramp is wedged, and so at some point it's still slightly discretized.
Okay.
So the fix is to hold the tool a little bit harder to prevent it from twisting in the tool post when you pick it up. So a tool post design rev that's able to hold the tool and prevent it from twisting would be one option.
That's what I tried first, but I actually have a problem on my wings for some reason or another.
Okay.
The wings.
So
yeah.
You could do it the other way around, which it sounds like that might actually be what you're going to try to do, which is modify the insert, where the tool posts actually get pushed in.
Well, you really need both fixes. You need to have a really solid tool post holder, or the tool holder, and then you also have to have, good support on the tool itself. And
I agree.
So for some reason, my one tool is just really loose on the post. I don't really understand why, but it just is.
You are right, because the current flavor of the current wing topology does not constrain twist for a small twist because of the flexure. So you can twist the tool a little bit and it will just push into one of the flexures and not the other. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the fundamental problem of this topology of tool wing, is that it does not constrain twist.
Well, would the fully enclosed all constrain twist?
The fully yes, it would, but it would over constrain it. That said, if your alignment is pretty good, being over constrained is okay.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is
I tell you what,
you can under constrain it at the tool post. So you can let one of the tool parking posts be wiggly in the left-right direction.
Well,
okay,
I'm not sure it'll happen when I put these on here, but man, this thing slides like butter on the posts right now. Even though
What's that?
I printed a fully enclosed version.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. So yeah, that's a good. Cool. That's a good start.
Yeah, here, let me.
I would try that first.
Post. Oh, I'm going to, but it's so slippery on the. I need to create some friction so that the tool doesn't slide off.
Let me send you that O-ring link. Oh, I just did. I pasted it in live stream chat.
Yeah, if you look at that post and a couple posts below it, I put a little video of it. Now, I don't actually have it on the tool. That's just a temporary thing, just to see if it would even work.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to figure out where you would put the O-ring.
Well, that link didn't work, by the way.
What's that?
It's taking me into order details, not
Yeah.
My bad. Hang on. I sent you to order details of my own order, which is definitely not going to work. Here we go. Copy that.
Don't worry, it doesn't take me to your account or anything.
Oh, I know.
Wouldn't that be terrible if that was a thing?
Yes, that would be a huge vulnerability. There we go. Okay, so that is correct. My bad.
I thought you had a wish list out there, and I was trying to find it again, because I thought you had put one out initially, but now I couldn't find it.
Oh wow! I can get this by Friday. Today's Friday.
Oh, maybe it's next
Right.
Friday.
But Domino's can have a tray of brownies in half an hour.
Actually, oh, never mind. I take it back. Yeah. So, what would be another way to do this?
I
Yeah,
was
what?
thinking of slots in the bottom of the enclosed, fully enclosed, right?
And then just
And you
using
slot
the
flexure inside there.
And do what?
use
You
the
cut a
flexures.
slot. You use the flexure still.
Oh, yeah, that would work.
Slot the bottom of the fully enclosed area.
Yeah.
Slide up the flexure, and put it where it would normally be,
Mhm.
and use that to provide the additional friction.
Yeah.
So it's the enclosure is still going to constrain the constrain the pins completely, right? But the flexure will provide that friction, and that's something that a lot of people have on it.
Yep. No, I think you're right. That's a good move, assuming you have the space for it.
He didn't change the wings. All he did was wrap around. So what you would do is you just
Oh, just put it at the end then.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
That's perfect. That sounds like a really good solution.
you just move it farther down, and then cut a
Oh,
notch.
go ahead.
You just move it a little farther down, so that it provides grip at the end.
Yep.
After it's already been seated closer, and then you just cut a notch to allow you open a slot at the bottom of the enclosed area, and that allows the flexor to operate in that space, right?
Yep.
Notch doesn't have to be the full length of the flexor, because
Agreed.
you only need to just provide enough space for it to operate against the pin. Yeah, I use the long. Oh, you got your longer pin, your 80mm pin.
Yep.
I have another dumb idea.
Yeah.
Okay, live stream chat picture. You use that geometry, that flexure, to create a fully closed one that's also squishy.
Yep, that would do it. You'd need your fully enclosed geometry would have to be larger than the existing one, but that's not. There is space there to do that.
I think that's fine, because then you squish it, but it's also tight.
Yeah. The problem is it might be too tight, and you can't adjust it.
I think we could play with it.
Well, the reason I say you'd have to have rings of that within the extrusion.
Oh,
I think the length of the entire length is like that. It would probably be too tight.
Sure. Yeah, that's possible. What I was thinking is that you still constrain it with the triangle at the top. So it's only 2 lines of contact plus the curl.
Okay.
But I don't know. I have totally been nerd sniped by this, and I want to do it. And I actually have time to do this. Well, not right now, but tomorrow.
Yeah. So the triangle actually doesn't exist anymore once you get past a certain point, because it looks like, Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, you just made a tube that's like 5.1 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I made a tube. I was very lazy. I just extruded a tube over top of the basically on center, and I stopped.
Works.
Yeah, and I stopped it early so that it doesn't, of course, cover up the screw hole. And then I took and cleared it out with a drill bit so I could get a nice tight tolerance on it. But of course, you could upsize it a little bit, so you don't need a drill bit. But
I think a drill bit is, doing when you've got sliding surfaces, counting on a print unless you're printing it vertically, right? Unless you're printing it in a vertical orientation, you're not. Most printers have a hard time getting a true wing.
I did print wings in the vertical orientation once, and they do work.
Oh, they do work. It just takes a long time. Lots of layers.
Yeah. but that's what going to bed is for.
You are not incorrect.
Oh, what do I want to do here?
Yeah, I gotta say, Eric, I think your best bet is probably going to be something, the path that you're already on, basically. Try the fully enclosed, the full circle, and then a flexure after that might be a good next step after that.
Yeah, so I like the flexure idea because it reuses parts that already exist.
Yeah.
So you're not increasing the part count of the machine.
A lot of people.
Yeah, and then I like the O-ring idea because it doesn't take up a lot of room. Your idea with the little pads to grip it could work, potentially. Like.
Isn't that dependent on the capabilities of the printer that you have?
I think the flexure is a little bit more forgiving than the fully enclosed one, unless you're post-processing it.
Well, it's going to be a hybrid between the fully enclosed and the flexure. The flexure is simply going to be there to provide resistance so it can't slide off during a print, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the only thing I'm worried about. Like, putting this on there that, you're doing a single extruder for 2 hours, 3 hours, 16 hours, whatever it might be. Eventually, it's going to work its way down the shaft, potentially, if there's no resistance. So that's my only.
Oh, I was talking about the built-in flexure in the printed part.
Oh.
Yeah, never mind. Not the Delrin one.
Yeah. Okay. The built-in flexure is a cool idea if we made the OD a bit larger, and then just put a few of those flexures in there. But if you were going to drill it out, then you'd end up drilling the flexures as well, which would
that'd be a little weird.
defeat the purpose.
That work. Yeah.
Well,
if I have time tomorrow, I might have to. Okay, even if I don't have time, I've been nerd sniped. I'm going to do it anyways.
Well, you could put the flexure at the very end, right? The printed flexure at the very back, close to the widest part of the wing.
Yeah, right? If you're careful not to drill it, it would work. But
so you leave a little gap, right? So you print the fully enclosed, and then there's a little gap, and then there's a ring of flexure, right? And then when you're drilling it out, you just don't drill past that gap, because you'll be able to see the drill bit as it approaches that.
It's kind of nice having both printers printing at the same time. It feels proper.
Yeah. That reminds me, I need to. Oh, that one just finished. Okay, I gotta go pull some more face shields off.
Yeah. It feels like your living room is a production facility.
Mine's in the laundry room.
Yes, it cleans clothes, and it makes face shields.
Start. Okay, that was really spicy ramen. Apparently, I picked up the wrong one. Yeah, I didn't. I put too much of the flavor in it. I feel like my throat is on fire right now. And print. And
hey, so, Josh.
I'm gonna set up a tool board and try to print this thing. Or set up a tool board with the cat file and see how it goes.
What is the name of the plates that go on either side of the tool changer mechanism? I forgot what they're called.
So the wings, the parking wings.
No.
So on the plate. Sorry. Can you describe it again? Sorry.
On the head, where the tool changer where the twist lock goes through, those two plates.
The carriage plates, front and back.
Is the carriage front plate and the carriage back plate?
That's what I was trying to think. Okay. I couldn't think of what the name was. I was looking for him in the STLs.
It's all good.
Here we go. This is what I want. Wait, I don't want. Do you have the? Oh shoot! Where do I find the step file for that? It's probably the whole machine somewhere, right?
Step file for the carriage. If it's a step, then it's the whole machine. And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If I had some automation tools, I might be able to make those a little bit easier to like make them all regenerate.
Yeah, that would be a lot of work exporting every single thing. Is it
but
the
possible.
Jubilee snapshot?
Yes.
Okay.
With a date on it.
Yes. All right. No problem. I'm just trying to. I want to modify those two plates so that I can put a couple bolts to bolt on something in between them. And that something in between will be a hookup for a CPAP hose for central cooling.
Ooh, I like.
And I figured that before I tear everything apart, I might as well, and replace all that stuff, I might as well put the plates on there, and then I can work out the details for the CPAP stuff later if I can put some mounting holes on it for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I showed you the fan that I planned on using, right?
I think there was a picture at some point. It was like a big monster.
Yeah, it's like a 120 millimeter centrifugal blower. The reviews for it was people who were like inflating like mattresses and bouncy houses. So I've tested it with the big box before, and it'll run right off of a fan output on the Duet, and it can actually scale down, so it's not blowing too terribly crazy to blowing pretty good. So
cool.
Ooh, Picatinny Smart Rail. Interesting. Sorry, never mind. Another project, we're working on some replica props from a science fiction series. And one of the things is a powered rail for pulse rifles. So, snap-on accessories. Yeah, the accessory just picks up power and data from the rail itself. So no matter how you adjust it for individual fit, you won't have cables running all over the place for it. That carries everything. Okay. I have lost my origin. Where is my origin? So you hate it when you do that?
Happens occasionally.
I'm just working on a sketch and the origin goes away. How far away is it? Kind of thing.
Oh, I'm upside down. I was looking at the machine upside down. I'm like, where's the core XY section? What an idiot.
Oh.
Is that the colored step file?
Yeah, there's colors in it.
Yeah.
Sweet. The old one's all gray, and someone was very upset.
What?
That it was all gray.
Who? Never mind. I don't even.
Sunk cost.
Really? You think?
I don't know.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
7, 12. I'm doing
Okay.
mental math.
So, do I modify it
Still
in this
cheaper.
whole thing, or do I export the stuff I want and change it?
Yeah, I'm like, I also need to check I think I've got skew or something going on the, because my 35 millimeter square was like 34.87 or something like that on the side.
Oh.
Like, I'm gonna have to print several more calibration cubes to get an idea of how much I have to adjust my XY calibration.
So, out of all the community mods so far, what do you think your favorite is, Josh?
Oh yeah, go ahead, put them on the spot.
What is my favorite?
I'm not asking him to tell me something I did was his favorite. I was just curious.
I'm not asking if you think mine are the best, but I really think mine are the best.
No, I was being genuine with that question. I will not feel upset if mine isn't picked.
I must say, I really appreciate all the work Daniel has put into TAM-B.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
I think, I mean, we're not necessarily saying that's the coolest. It's interesting from like a community perspective, because I don't want people to feel like they need it. But it is such a convenience to just simply have it and be able to just press a couple buttons and have it all done for you. That part is awesome. There is some stuff that's not a community mod because somebody mentioned it and I was like, I'm taking it. Somebody Mario Quake filed a GitHub issue on GitHub, and it was for putting a spacer on the other side of the twist lock to prevent axial load.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was very good, like good thinking. Because then like that little square nut didn't have to be wasn't taking so much force.
Exactly.
So that was like really, really well thought out. Yeah. I must say I like specifically didn't do a Chimera tool because it wasn't I just didn't have the bandwidth, and so it was really nice to see everybody pour work from different angles, and suddenly like a bunch of people start to have Chimera tools, and I didn't do anything there. I just watched, and that I think was honestly like a lot of people. That was like the two of you plus I think Luke and Daniel, and people are passing things back and forth as files and turning them into real things and being like, this part's okay, this part's not so great, and then like it happens again. Like files get exchanged around, they become real things on different ends. That was really, really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean Daniel's actually using my Chimera.
See, there we go.
And he's modified it, but I modified mine again to provide mounting hard points in the plate. And people seem to like. They seem to find that using the bottom screw hole for the lock plate is a mount point for the Chimera. As elegant. You just use a longer screw, thread, and it goes right into the back of the Chimera.
Nice.
And picks it up right there.
Clever reuse.
Multi-use, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm at a point where I need to go say hello to other people.
No way! Other people?
My old... Yeah. Try to socialize occasionally. It was part of my old choir group. They're having like an online event. So I'm going to go say hi.
Good. Well, have a great night. We'll talk to you later.
Cheers to you too. Have a good night.
You too.
And I will see you virtually in the future.
Okay.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. Keep me posted on the inconsistent extrusion issue.
Sure, we'll do.
Yeah.
Blah. Exit sketch. Extrude.
Must be
Yeah.
kind of cool to see like something that was born in your brain turn into a whole community.
Yes, absolutely.
Like I can't imagine coming up with a project that becomes this. You know.
Yeah. Uh,
Hmm.
okay. Everything is currently printing properly.
Apparently, the Ford plant that I have to go to on Tuesday is implementing thermal scanning technology to allow people to come in and not.
Oh, scanning people as they come through the door.
Sounds like before they even come into the parking lot.
Okay. That's a security gate.
Yeah, something like that. Just
Okay.
saw an email on it. So I need to go work out really hard before I have the meeting.
So they turn you around at the gate.
And then I don't have to go.
Well, all right, fine. I can kind of see that.
I'm just playing. Man, I'd really like to use the area inside this mechanism, but
Yeah.
if like to somehow channel all the air, I just don't see that that's going to work.
Are you looking at?
I'm looking at that. What do we call this piece? Hold on, I will tell you.
Can you make that full screen?
Sure.
Because I can't see really what you're doing.
Yeah, I haven't done anything yet. I'm just looking at it. That should be full
I
screen
like
here in a
your
second.
corner cam.
Thank you.
So like that center section there.
Yeah, this
Where it is?
carriage center plate. But I was just thinking, like, I don't know how I'd channel air into it anyway, so I think it's kind of moot. But it just, there's so much space to utilize here, potentially.
Well, I mean, I've got wiring in there on the front plate.
Yeah, and Daniel's modified this piece to hold a BL touch as well, so I think it's
Yeah.
probably best just to leave it be. I kind of wish these were threaded inserts, though. I don't like screwing in and unscrewing and screwing in and unscrewing into plastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
It's something you probably don't do very often.
well, that's the thing. If I'm gonna be fiddling with this, it'd be
Is there
nice.
room there for threaded inserts?
What's that?
Is there room for threaded inserts?
Probably not, but you know what there could possibly be room for? Nuts.
Oh, square nuts? Or
Yeah.
drop them in at the bottom?
Yeah, if we put in some slots for square nuts here,
Yeah.
and we could probably put some slots for square nuts on the outside for the upper ones.
Oh,
Or from, oh, actually, we could probably do it from the top.
yeah.
And
Yeah, there's
then,
room.
oh, I don't know if I feel like doing that, though. Because that's work. And that's not the part I'm interested in working on. Maybe I will. I don't know. I'll think about it. What is this? Oh, he put some stuff for wiring on here. Nice.
Oh, wait, that's new.
Yeah,
All
it's a
right.
little zip tie. Or,
That
what is
would
it?
have helped. It would have helped some of the parts for me
Yeah.
because you have to bring the wire out that way, but you also have to tuck it back in. And did he move the? Is there still? Did he move the X out?
X.
Switch out a little bit?
It
No.
looks like it's the same.
No, it doesn't
I
look like it
think.
moved.
I don't know why you'd want to move it out. What would be the reasoning for that? What are these little bumps for?
I don't know. That's new.
Huh.
Oh, so they're on the same side, maybe? They're just indicators.
Weird.
Yeah, that cable guide is kind of neat.
Yeah, I like that.
But you bring the wire out and then back in to pick up the wire coming off the limit switch.
Mhm. I'm not relishing the idea that I'm going to have to tear apart the entire lock mechanism to make this work.
Well, you build it off to the side before you get it so that you've got your flows and everything like that.
Well, I'm going to have to tear off the entire locking mechanism and rerun the wire because the wire feeds through this plate right here, and there's no way to do that without disassembling the actual lock mechanism itself.
Oh, right. Ooh.
I don't like that.
A
I wonder.
slot, maybe? Have like a thin slot, like from the side or something.
Yeah, I wonder if it needs to be constrained for some reason.
If you had a slot, you basically you open it up from the whole outward.
Yeah, I'm gonna send Josh a Discord message about this and see what he thinks about slotting that for the wire, or if there's a reason that he didn't want it slotted.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be a pain. Yeah, there may not be room with the Z switch to put a square nut in here.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah, possibly.
You can put it farther back and use a longer screw.
True. Okay.
Mhm.
Oops. Wonder how I go about enabling history. Or no. No, I already have a history here. Okay, never mind.
Hey,
What's up?
I was trying to watch what you're doing while I'm also working on model.
Oh. Ah. Yeah, I'm still formulating in my mind what I'm doing, so probably not the best catting. ever going to do here. Ah. Why are you being weird? So, one thing I've been wondering about is should I try to use the molded or rubber of the CPAP hose, or should I
No,
just...
it's too big. It's much larger. If you wanted to be able to slide it on and slide it off, that
Well,
could be one thing.
well, it fits between the two pieces without much of a problem, but...
Well, if it fits, then that's fine. But look and see where things like toolboards, right?
True.
But if you want to make it so that you don't have to cut it off, that might be a thing to consider. Then, if it fits, then you just have to account for the space.
I mean, if you kept the rubber, you might be able to use it for detaching and attaching it if you wanted to, for whatever reason. But
Yeah.
on the other hand, if people bought the different CPAP hose, I don't know how universal these things are, so there could be some issues there.
Yeah.
One thing I'm worried about, though, is you've got the coiled texture on the outside. So that might make it difficult to get a good seal on it if you get rid of the rubber.
A little bit. You just wrap the whatever you've got in tape or something before you put it on there. So.
You make a point about the tool boards, though.
Huh?
You make a good point about the tool boards. I mean, with the rubber gasket on it, it would probably provide some clearance issues. Damn.
Sorry.
You and your tool board.
I'm not the only one with tool boards.
I know. But you are the most likely to want to use this system once I've got something figured out. Oh, it's already 12:30. Maybe I'll sleep on it.
Sleep is a good thing.
I was expecting this print to finish before I went to bed. This is taking a lot longer than I was anticipating. Well, that view is in need of some serious fixing.
That's a good picture, by the way.
Thanks. Difficult to get a good two view of this particular, with this. Oh, I know what I'd have to do. Probably crop it. I'll mess with camera angles later.
Okay.
Or will I?
I'm pretty sure I know how he does this. I think that's a stuffed cut, revolved cut. No, that's a revolved cut.
You know what we might be able to do?
What's that?
Again, this is going to depend highly on the CPAP hoses and how consistent or not they are. So we might be able to just model that groove right into it and then create like a little adapter. And this could be modified if the CPAP hoses are, change at some point. But it just like clamps onto it, and then you just plug that adapter in to this mechanism. So, oh wow, the print just finished. Cool. I can start another print. Anyway, that way we can kind of have a nice, minimally space-consuming adapter. We can still put some tape on it or whatever, but I think if we do something, try to make like a molded thing. I'm guessing it's going to follow a pretty regular pattern. I hope. So. Yeah, that way it just clamps right in there, and if you have to change it for a different thing, then it's fine. Oh my gosh. I kept hearing my spool make noise. I'm like, that's weird. Why is it doing that? It is not good looking.
It is not good looking?
No. It has done something really weird. I don't even know what to do to fix this. Yeah, for some reason a bunch of coils have flipped off of this thing. I'm talking about the other printer, by the way. Right now it's mid-print and this is a mess. I don't even know what I was talking about before I just discovered this. Like, oh, twisted. I think I have some pretty good ideas for when I get some time to start working on the design again tomorrow.
Okay. I don't know if this is incredible, but I'll give it a shot.
I've never really seen a spool tangle up in this manner before. This is crazy.
I just changed devices again.
Oh, sounds like we got your volume pretty straightened out.
And I just went back to my computer. Oh, sorry, Decker.
But yeah, but like your volume didn't make a dramatic shift between devices, so I think
Oh, okay.
we some success.
Oh gosh.
Ooh, that is a pretty sharp kink. So I've managed to untwist the craziness that was happening here. I'm not sure how, but like it got really twisted up on itself. I don't know if this is some sort of defect in the spool or it twisted itself up during, well, printing some strange way. I'm not sure which is more likely.
I don't know if this is going to work or not. Let's find
Well, I didn't end up printing a Yoda. I actually had a more functional print queued up and had failed the last time I went to print. And I realized that when I went to go print, so instead of printing Yoda, I'm going to try to reprint what I was printing. Okay. There are still filament on the spool.
No, you can't have that. It's positive. Milk is not good for you. Stop. Can't have it. I know you like it, but it always makes you sick. He's trying to help himself to my glass of milk. Like, I'm going to stick my paw in this. That's not helpful.
All right. Yeah, you can actually fit 3 spools in between the Z screws.
Okay.
4 tools, though, I don't think, unless there were skinny ones, I don't think that would work. Yeah, I figure I'll probably slowly start working on getting fourth or the third, the second 3HC wired up. Mostly probably going to stay focused on improving the tool mount until I'm satisfied. And, well, first thing I got to do is I want to get the gates and metal plates on. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm streaming a part that I just made. So
You're streaming a